In what way? Okay, if I say alignment also, actually it is a part of styling. If I say color also, it is a part of styling. Okay, so CSS, a little brief history about CSS. CSS has various levels and profile. Okay, we have something called as CSS1, CSS2, CSS3. Okay, the first CSS, was established in 1996. Then came your CSS2, okay, which added some features regarding position, okay, and now CSS3 is there, which is still under your development. Like we have your HTML5 under development, we also have the CSS level 3 under the development process. But there are many features, and right now we use almost all the elements which are present in your CSS3. Now, CSS is saving a lot of work because it by just defining certain terms, you can change a whole layout of a web page. External, your styles are normally saved in your external CSS file, okay, which will enable to change the appearance and the layout of all the pages in the website. When you have a big website to prepare, which has maybe around 10 web pages which are connected, that time your CSS which is there will help you a lot. In that one single file, you can make the changes and all the things will be reflected into the web pages which are connected. Certain advantages of CSS, it will save you a lot of time, okay. Pages, they load faster, okay, because less code is there. If you have text, that means automatically the work is done. Easy maintenance, okay. Superior styles to HTML, okay. Your HTML gets actually more styling because of the CSS only. Only the disadvantage with CSS is regarding to your browser compatibility. Like in HTML5, we had version 4 only which supports Chrome, or version 10 only which supports Opera Mini. So in this case, in CSS also the same problem is there. If you have higher version, then only all the features of CSS 3 will come. Otherwise, some features will be accepted and some features will not be displayed. Okay. So if you have the higher version onto your browsers which are there, then you will get a proper output to see. Clear up till here? Any difficulty? So over here, some theory questions we can expect, okay. Advantages, disadvantages of CSS, okay. Why CSS is required and all those questions. Just 1 minute. Next, understanding the style rule. A style rule is composed of two parts, a selector and a declaration. Okay, so there is something called as, now in this slide that you see, TH is nothing but selector and color red is nothing but the declaration. Now let me just show you all a simple program. Okay, now see, to explain what I said right now, this is a HTML program. Yes or no? We know, right, how to write a basic HTML program. HTML opening, closing, body opening, closing, head opening, head closing. This is one header, okay, and there is one paragraph. Now let us see how to write a simple program. This is a normal program without any color. That means without any styling done, a normal program is there. Now how do I add, how do I create a CSS program is, we have to add something called a style. And where do I add the style is after my head. So style, close, closing style. So opening bracket for style and closing bracket of style. So whatever you write inside this particular style tag will give you the output. Now, considering that, suppose I want the body, okay, the whole background of this text to be of one color. So how do I define it is body, see how I am writing, body, open curly brackets, enter, I want to change the background color. So I write the word background, okay, hyphen color, put 2 colons, and maybe I want background color to be blue, semicolon, close. Okay. Now there is also header, there is also a paragraph. Now maybe I want to change the color of my header 1. So I mentioned the word header 1, opening bracket. Okay. Over here also maybe I want to change, instead of background color, let me say the text color. Okay. So for text color, I just mentioned color, colon, red, semicolon. And maybe in terms of paragraph, I want to make the alignment, or what I can change is maybe font size. Okay. So I mentioned the word font size. Okay. Colon, maybe 50 px value, 50 pixel value. So what is this? This is, what is this is, we are adding styling to our normal HTML file. See, our normal HTML file, looks like this. There is no color, no change, nothing. But if I want to create a file with a CSS property, I have to add something called as styling. Now, what is the syntax for the same? There is something called as body. Okay, so I say body, I write the same word body, open curly brackets, background color equal to blue. Now see, previously we used to use BG color. So what CSS3 says, we have to write full, that is background color colon blue, semicolon, close. Now there is a header. Maybe I want this particular header text to be in red color. So I just mentioned color red. And this is a paragraph. For this particular word, I want the font size to be 50 pixel. Okay. So when I run this program, what has happened? First thing, background color changed to blue. Yes. Header 1 is what? My first CSS example. It has to be in red color. Yes. This is a paragraph. I have not mentioned any color. So by default, it is black color. I have changed the font size of it to 50 pixels. So I have said font size 50 px. So it is slightly bigger than what it is. Now suppose I say 80 pixel and run. Okay, so it has become big. So this is adding styling to a document. Okay. So now coming to this part of mine where I said th color red. Okay, when I compare this, it is actually what? This part which is there is what? th open curly bracket property colon value. So the syntax is what? th is nothing but the selector. Okay. Okay. ph is what? ph is nothing. If I write body, if I write h1, if I write p, it is what? Basically selector. That is where you want to change and what you want to change. If you want to change header 1, you will write header 1. If you want to change paragraph, you write p. If you want to change body, you write body. So what is the word that you write before the curly bracket is called as selector. So wherever you want to make the changes. Background color. What is background color? It is a property. What is color? It is a property. What is font size? It is a property. So what we mentioned, the first is nothing but the property. Background color is changing the color of background. Font size is changing the size of the text. Color is changing the text color. Okay, and what is this blue, red, 80 pixel? It is nothing but the values. Okay, you want to change the property with this particular value. So this is the syntax. Okay, this is the syntax that we write into your style tag. Clear enough? Any difficulty up till here in understanding? Any queries? Okay. Coming to the next part. So this is it is. Oh, in this case, TH is nothing but the selector, color is the property, and red is nothing but the value. So selector indicates the element to which the rule is applied, and the declaration will determine the property values of your selector. Next. So in this case, P is the selector, color is the property, and red is the value. So it could be any property, changing the color, changing the font family, changing the font size. Now I can also mention in this same, in this same particular thing, I can just mention that font size is 80 pixel and maybe font family, okay, is Verdana. Okay, this is a font family name, right? So see the styling now. This is a different way in which it is written. And maybe background color is blue. Okay, this is rent. Then if I mention font family, I'm changing the font maybe to Times. Okay. This is Times only. So by default maybe Arial. So it has changed. See. So whatever properties you want, you can add those particular properties and make the things look better. Okay. Now coming to the next part. Yes. Sorry, students, excuse me for 1 minute. Yeah. Now the next part. CSS declaration always ends with a semicolon and the declaration groups are surrounded by the curly brackets. So if you see in this particular example, okay, there are curly brackets, okay, and whichever is the property, it ends with a semicolon. Okay. So in this example, color red, text alignment center, okay. So these are the two properties and their value, and it is enclosed by curly brackets, and after the end of each property there is a semicolon. Then we can also write the comments. Comments are written in this way. That is, if I write over here, slash star, this is by me, and this is by programmer 1. Okay, star again and backslash. So what happens when you run, comments are not seen onto your page, right? But this is for programmers to understand. So backslash star, whatever is the content, again star and backslash. Okay, so this is how you write the comments into your CSS programs. Text alignment, color is black, font family is Arial. Okay. So this is a comment, text alignment center. This is another comment. So you can write wherever you want, but this should be the format. Backslash, star, the content, star, and backslash. Okay. Next part, the ID and the class selector. Now, over here, in addition to setting a style for an HTML element, CSS allows you to specify your own selector, which is called as ID and class. Now, let me tell you, there are 4 types of selector. One is called as ID selector, okay? When I say ID selector, it is to specify a single and a unique element. Okay, because they use something called as the ID attribute. Second thing is a class selector. This is normally used for a group of elements. Okay, I will show you an example for each, but right now understand the meaning. One is your ID selector, that is for selecting single element. One is called as the class selector, which is used for grouping of the elements. Now let us see example for each one. Okay. Let us okay. Now, in this code, again, this is a simple HTML file. There is one paragraph saying that hello world, and there is second paragraph. This paragraph is not affected by this style. So two paragraphs are there. Now, when I use ID attribute is when I want one paragraph color maybe to be in red color and one paragraph color to be in the black color. So when I want, unique things, what does the ID attribute specify? ID selector says that when you have to specify a style for a single or a unique element, we use your ID attribute. Now, what is the syntax is, suppose I want to change color of this hello world. So what I do is open angular bracket P space, I write the word ID equal to a word, maybe para 1. This is my paragraph 1. So I have specified certain ID. ID is the keyword equal to the name that you want to give. In my case, I have written para 1. So when I am giving styling over here, what I will mention is, I will mention the something called as hash. Then I will write para 1, okay, open curly brackets, close curly brackets. What does this means? This means that it is a selector, right? Now in this case, the selector is called as para 1 because I have given it a name as para 1. So when I use ID attribute, I have to use something called as hash sign before the name of the ID. So in this case, the ID name is para1. So I write para1, and since I've used the keyword ID, I will mention something called as hash. Rest all things remains the same. That is what? Property and the value. You want to change the color, so I say color colon red. And maybe I want to change the alignment also. So I say text align equal to suppose right. No need for this thing, colon right. Okay. So when I run this, now see what has happened? Hello world is become red color as expected, and the text alignment has also become right. So if I want, I can specify one more ID over here saying that ID equal to para 2 suppose, okay, close. I will no, write the same thing, that is hash. What is the ID given? Para 2, okay, open curly brackets. Maybe for para 2, I just want to increase the font size. So I say font size colon maybe 50 px value semicolon and close the curly bracket. So when I run, what happens? The second line has also become as per what I have done the styling. So this is what? This is styling unique element. Okay. So what does the definition says? The ID selector is used to specify a style for a single or a unique element. So you use something called as the ID attribute. You mention ID equal to so and so name, and when you are calling in your style, you have to mention something called as the hash sign before. So hash para 1 and so thing. Okay. Next, Class select.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, what if we use both para 1 for both the paragraphs, ma'am?
If you are using para 1 for both, that means you will get the same output, no? Wait, I'll show you. See, now what you said, ma'am, what if we use same para 1? So for this also I'm saying para 1. For this also I'm saying para 1. So if I'm calling para 1 over here, it will be red, it will be right, and it should have font size 50 pixel. So all these three properties are applied to this particular para 1. Understood?
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
by logic, see, para 1, all these three attributes will be applied. But if I mention this as para 2, and then I say suppose this as para 2 over here, and I run, only this particular part will be affected. Now see, para 2 I have said color, so para 2 has become color and right alignment, whereas para 1 it is only font size 50 pixels, so only changes according to that. So when I say ID, I'm like, see, you all are class of suppose 50. I give roll number to each one, right? So this is unique to you. So it is like calling the roll numbers by the word ID. And then I call them into the style tag with the hash sign, and then update the properties into it. Clear enough?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now what is the class selector? ID was selecting single. Okay. Class is used when you have to style a group of elements. Okay. Maybe there are a lot of elements which have to be with the same thing. So your class attribute allows you to set a style for the HTML elements which are within a same class maybe. Now, what is the changes? Coming to my code. What change have to be done is here, right? This. In this case, we use something called as ID, right? Now, when I say class selector, instead of the word ID, I will mention something called as class. Okay, I mention something called as class and maybe any particular name. Okay, now maybe class right. I say class right. Any name that you give, and maybe this one is class center. Okay, class right, and maybe class center. Okay. Now, when I'm calling this class, instead of hash, I have to use something called as dot, a period operator. And what is the name given? Right. So I'll just replace this with right. Okay. And yes, I replace this with right. Since I have said that class is normally used for uh, grouping the whole element, so I mention over here right. Okay, now I remove this part. Okay, so what I have done is, this is my paragraph hello world, and paragraph, this is a paragraph. Both this paragraph are falling suppose in one particular class, that is class right. So when I call them into my style tag, I have to put something called as dot and the name of the class, which is right. Okay, I've said that these two things should be red color, the text alignment should be right, and the font size should be 50 pixels. So when you run, this is how it changed. Now see, I just copy paste and create one more class. Instead of right, I say center. Okay. I say center. And so how do I call it? Dot, the name of the class, which is center, open curly brackets. Maybe only I want to change the font size. So I say font size, maybe 10 px, okay, semicolon. And suppose I say color blue. semicolon, close. So there are two classes. One is right class, one is center class. Right class we have already seen. So when I say center class, okay, this is my one class which is what? Okay, I have not given text alignment, no? So I just mentioned text align equal colon center semicolon. Okay. So what has come? 10 is too small, no? 30. So what has come? Hello world and this two paragraph which is there, okay, have got the properties of center class. What are the properties of center class? Font size is 30 pixel, text is to the center, and color is blue. Okay, so this is what grouping of elements. In group those particular elements, I am changing the style. Clear? Any difficulty up till here? Yes? So this is how we use your ID selector, and this is how you use your class selector. Remember, when I use ID selector, I use hash. And when I use class selector, I use the period operator or the dot operator. Now there is something called as grouping selector. Now what do you mean by grouping selector is? What do you mean by grouping selector is? Now suppose instead of paragraph, these are all headers. Okay, I just mentioned this is header 1. Okay, this is header 2. And this is header 3. Okay, this is header 1, header 2, header 3, and this is one paragraph. Okay. So header 1 is there, header 2 is there, header 3 is there, and paragraph is there. Suppose I want header 1. Okay. So header 1 color should be red. Okay. Next I want header 2. Okay. Header 2 font size should be 30 pixels. Suppose I'm just giving one property to each one. Okay. Header 3, suppose I want font size to be 50 pixels. Instead of font size, we'll put color. Color is better. Color blue. Color sky blue. Okay. And there is a paragraph, right? So I say paragraph, open curly brackets. Maybe I want font family. Okay. Font family is suppose Verdana. Okay, and color is red. Okay, so what I have done is there are 3 headers, there is 1 paragraph. Okay, I want to if I say I just replace this. Now it makes sense. Now see, in this program there are 3 headers, 1 paragraph. Suppose I want all the headers should be red color and even the paragraph has to be red color. So when I run this program, automatically what should happen? Vedam, paragraph, okay. So what should happen? These are all red colors. But I am utilizing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 lines of my code and I am including so much spacing to put red color for all of this text. So instead of separately defining, I can just mention H1, comma, H2, comma, H3, comma, P. Okay, all the 4 things, open curly bracket, I will say color, colon red, semicolon and close. I just remove this part. Okay, cut. And when I run this, you get the same output. So this is called something called as grouping selector. Okay. So
Ma'am,
this, yes.
ma'am, if we have more than one P and we don't want to make the different color, the text color,
That
then
time you can use class. Okay, you can use class, right? That particular paragraph, or you can use id attribute. If you want to change color of a single paragraph, you use id attribute. And if you want group of group of paragraphs to change, maybe like two paragraphs one color, two paragraphs one color, you can use class attribute. Okay.
okay.
Now when
But
you
but
use,
if there are multiple H and multiple P, and only selected ones we want different color, then
yeah, so that's what, no, you can use id attribute. See, id attribute does what? id attributes does what? They specify a style for a single or a unique element. So suppose you want h1 to be different color, h2 to be different color, you define it as a id. Suppose you want two paragraphs or two headers to be of one color, two headers to be of different color, you use something called as class, a group of elements. Now, suppose all these headers which are there, you want it only a single color to appear. So instead of writing separate for each of them, just group the things. See, now in this case, H1, H2, H3, all the three things, they have a single property. So instead of writing three different things, why not write h1 h2 p and then group this particular element. Okay, so it saves the space also, and it will take less time also. Clear?
yes, ma'am.
Miss,
Are you getting?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Miss, what if we write hash and then H1, H2 then?
Where you are saying,
Or
just
just
1 minute, where is the program, beta? Where you want me to add hash?
yeah, before H1, head one. Yes.
See, if I'm adding a hash symbol over here, I have to declare ID attribute, no, for something. I can say, suppose you want like ID equal to, if I say para1, okay? Suppose now what you want is header 1 should be of one color and header 2, 3 should be of different color. So I will mention hash, and what is the name? Para1, okay? Open curly bracket, close curly bracket. Rest all three things which are there you want in red color, and maybe the para1 you want in blue color. So when I run this, what will happen? Your hello world is in blue color because you have defined an ID for this. Whereas rest all three things which are there, they have the same property. So what I am doing, I am just grouping them by using grouping selector. Getting?
Okay. Yes, Miss.
Yes. Now see, this can so happen. Now taking something called as class. Now that person was saying of class. Now, so I'll just show you an example of class also. Okay. Now suppose class equal to maybe right. Okay. Class equal to right. See, we have used ID attribute. Now let me show you all your class attribute. Now for class attribute, I use something called a spirit operator. And what is the name of the class? Right. Okay, right is the name. Open curly bracket. Maybe you want text alignment to be right. Okay, right. Semicolon, close. Right. And I'll just remove H2 from here. Now when I run this, what will happen? I've used my ID attribute also because single I want hello world to be in different color. Same way I've used my class attribute also, that is two paragraph I wanted to have same properties. So they are having same property, and H3 and P, this is something that have the same properties. So I have used the grouping selector over here. Okay, so if I just say I write, okay, yes. So let me just say P, saying that this is ID attribute. Okay, close my P. Okay. Okay, Control C, Control V. This is my, sorry, it is not attribute, it is selector. Okay. And sorry, I'm utilizing your time. Okay, I'll just complete this. Okay, in another 2 minutes, I'll finish with this part. Okay, this is my grouping selector. Okay. So the first one, the hello world, which is there, is using your ID selector. The two paragraphs which are in black, it is using a class selector. The third one which is there is using your grouping selector, that is hello and this is style. Okay, hello and this is style. One is your header, one is your paragraph. So that is using your grouping selector. So these are the three types of grouping selector. Now just consider that suppose you want all this content, okay, all these things which are there to follow only one particular property, that is their color should be red. Then what I do is I write something called as star. I open my curly bracket and I just mention that property. Okay, Control C, I will mention that property and close. I just remove all this part which is there. And I just run. So when I say star, it means what? It is a universal selector. Now, not every program will be, the code will be such small. There are some programs which will have large code. Suppose I want one property that has to be followed by everybody, I will just mention star equal to color blue. And rest all things which are there according to their requirements. Okay, so these are the four types of selector. One is your ID selector, one is your class selector, one is your grouping selector, and one is your universal selector. That is, instead of writing h1 comma h2 comma h3 comma h4 comma h5 comma p, okay, comma h6, okay, instead of writing all these 6 things, I just mention star and I say color blue. Okay, so again I'm saving my time and I'm saving my space. Clear enough? See, when I mention, okay, Ayush has put H1 will come under center. And see, H1 center, class equal to right or class equal to whatever I mentioned, this is the name which I have given. If I want text to be in center, I have to mention text alignment center, text alignment left, text alignment right, text align, okay. This keyword has to, this property name has to be there. Yes, any difficulties up till here?